To speak to us on a very relevant topic, transformation and responsibility of a citizen. Before we formally begin the program, I request the President of HMA to please come over to the dais. May I now request the Secretary of HMA, Mr. Ravi Kumar Kispati, to accompany the Speaker of the Day to the dais. Let us welcome with a round of applause. I would now request the President of HMA, Mr. Prasad Reddy, to welcome the Speaker of the Day with a bouquet.
HMA members, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. On behalf of HMA, I extend a heartfelt and welcome to the Speaker of the evening, Sri Lakshminarayana Garu, and to all one and all present here. As you're well aware of, Mr. Lakshminarayana Garu is a well-known personality in Hyderabad. We are very fortunate to have him address us this evening. As you're aware, the topic for the evening is Transformation, Citizens' Responsibilities. We are all well aware of Mr. Lakshminarayana's orating skills, and I am sure all of us are keen to listen to him. I thank him for taking his valuable time out to come and address us. I would also like to thank Mr. Gampa Nageshwara Garu, who has coordinated with Mr. Lakshminarayana for this meeting. I take this opportunity to brief Mr. Lakshminarayana Garu of the HMA and its activities. Sir, HMA was started in the year 1964. We have completed 52 years of existence. It's a professional body of managers, and we are affiliated to All India Management Institution at Delhi. And we conduct various programs. Basically, we give a platform to enhance your managerial skills and latest practices to the managers, students, and faculty members.
Currently the Additional Director General of Maharashtra. He was a former Joint Director of India's Central Bureau of Investigation. He previously held the post of Joint Commissioner of Police, Thane. He was born on the 3rd of April 1965 and brought up in Srisailam of Andhra Pradesh, where his father was an irrigation officer. He did his Bachelor of Engineering at the National Institute of Technology, Warangal, and his M.Tech from the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. He is the topper of the 1990 batch of the Indian Police Services. He is known for his impactful speeches. Being a staunch follower of Swami Vivekananda, he wishes to create a mass of Vivekanandas from his school after his retirement. He is ahead in the line for giving help to the youth always through his speeches across the country. He is presently serving as the Additional Director General of Police of Maharashtra. He has donated blood over 54 times. He has planted 15,000 saplings, and he has a distinct record of interacting with over 10 lakh youth across the country, and he continues to inspire all of us. Welcome to the HMA, sir.
President of HMA, Sri Prasad Reddy Garu, Secretary Ravi Kumar Garu, and Treasurer Mr. Vijay, and many good friends here, and also all the youngsters who have come, and also my dear friend Gampa Garu, because when I was in Bombay, he told me that anyway you are coming here, why don't you address the HMA? I said it will not be an address, it will be an exchange of information, and also, let it be a two-way communication. It's not a big hall or any this thing. We are only about 100 or 150. At the end of the session, I want some concrete resolutions made by us. Otherwise, we go, we listen, and we come out. But ultimately, when you go back, the thing is the same. So this thing is, why not we interact with each other? At the end of the session, let us make some resolutions how we can transform the nation, because the topic given to me is transformation and responsibility of a citizen. Yesterday I was reading the newspaper, Deccan Chronicle. So there is a editorial item which has appeared, India's droughts a man-made failure, in which he says, water in India as a whole has been so recklessly squandered that 72% of the underground bank of water has been depleted. There has been no serious concern about recharging and conservation. This is what is the observation by none other than the waterman whom we all know, and Mr. Rajendra Singh, who got this, I think, Raman Magsaysay award, and he is the man who has said it's a man-made failure. So man-made failure means, who is this man?
All of us.
The immediate response is that it is the government. Generally that is the thing. If there is any failure, immediately blame the government. So let us consider who has failed in this. Whether the government or as citizens we all have failed. This is one thing we need to discuss. In the same this thing, again I have gone through a talk or this thing by Mr. Raghuram Rajan, who is the Reserve Bank Governor. He also made some observations about the country. He says, we can't get carried away by our current superiority in growth, for as soon as we believe in our own superiority and start distributing future wealth as if we already have it, we stop doing all that is required to continue growing. This movie has played too many times in our past for us to not know how it ends. This is what is Raghuram Rajan he is talking about. This is in the yesterday's paper. And about the hard facts which have been told by him, he says, Chinese citizen is over 4 times richer than average Indian. Among the BRICS group, India has the lowest per capita GDP. Chinese economy was smaller than India in the 1960s, but is now 5 times bigger. India needs to repeat 7.5% economic growth rate for the next 20 years. So these are the observations. Again, we can ask who is going to do this. So is it the government? Is it the citizens? And who are supposed to do it? That is the question before us. So what I have seen is, as a group we are failing. As a group we are failing. If you go tomorrow, there are going to be many weddings in this city of Hyderabad. So you can see the extravagant way of spending money. If you want to see, you can go and see tomorrow. So there are rich people, and also in the same Hyderabad, if you go after 10:30 or 12 o'clock in the night, near the dustbins, we find people collecting the food from the dustbins. So this is the contrast what we have in this society. People who are very, very rich and people who are very, very poor. So this is the combination in which we are working. Now we need to transform. So who needs to transform? So everyone needs to transform. That is what is my way of telling to us. I need to transform. I need to change. And everyone has to change. So whether we are ready for that change, this is one thing we need to discuss. That is one thing we need to discuss is whether everyone is ready for the change. Change is very difficult. And whenever there is a change, there is always a resistance by the people. They don't want to change. So basically the thing is that we need to change. and we need to transform. This is one idea which I have given to you, looking into the economy of the country and also so many man-made problems. I belong to the state Maharashtra because as I am working in Mumbai, there is a place called Latur in Maharashtra. You all must have read in the newspapers. There is an appeal to the people who are traveling by train from here to Shirdi. There is a train from here to Shirdi which goes via Latur. So the request is that every passenger is requested to bring 5 liters of water in a water bottle, and on the platform of Latur there are so many collection tanks that have been kept. So it stops for 5 minutes in Latur. So all the passengers are required to take out this water and put it in those drums. So this is another situation. At least when I read this, I felt very happy that an appeal is being made to have concern for somebody who is not having water, maybe in some other state. So that's a good thing. Giving something to the society or giving to someone who is in need of it. This is one quality which we need to develop. Now, when I was coming from my place to this HMA, Prasad Reddy Garu was telling, the theme of HMA this year was Innovate and Excel. That's what he said, Innovate and Excel. I talk about a small innovation of a small village boy, because I attended a science exhibition in Rajahmundry. So I had time, because in between after I left Andhra from the CBI and when I had gone to join my state, they said now all the transfers are over, now you need to wait for some time. I said I am very happy. I told them please send me back, I will be in Hyderabad and whenever I am found fit to take up a job, please let me know, I will come and join. So these 8 months I could tour lot of places, especially I could interact with lot of children. So one boy, I met him in Rajahmundry. So that boy was showing his science model which he has prepared, an exhibit. So that is a solar water heater which he has prepared. I asked that boy, why did you make this and what prompted you to make this? The boy said, I go to a government school, sir. In that school, a boy who has a boy is there who is from a rich family. So that boy also said, and he started commenting on me, saying that I am very rich. Every day I take bath with hot water. You are a poor fellow, so you don't have money. So you have to live in this poverty and you have to take bath with the cold water only. So that small thing has prompted this boy. Then he started thinking that how can I also take bath with the hot water? That boy, he could not sleep. So he started going to the library, he started going to interact with his science teacher. Then one day the solar energy project has been, lesson was there in his syllabus. So the science teacher was telling him there is a lot of energy in the sun, and in the sun rays, if you can tap it, you can use it for several purposes. One of it is you can heat water. Then the boy after the class went and met the science teacher. Sir, how can I do it? Then the science teacher gave him few tips. Then the boy goes to the village and he goes and requests the shopkeeper. So he asks for a small tin. So the shopkeeper gives him a tin, oil tin. The boy cleans the oil tin and paints it with black paint. Then he goes to a local mechanic and asks for a copper, a small tube. So then takes it and bends it and then connects it to the small tin. Then he goes to a stationery shop and requests for 10 magnifying glasses. Then he goes to a small shop and takes a bamboo stick. Then he goes to a carpenter, get these 10 magnifying glasses onto this bamboo stick, on 5 this side and 5 that side. So that means there is a bamboo and 5 magnifying glasses this side and 5 magnifying glasses this side. Then he sits in the morning and starts orienting this bamboo stick and the moment he gets a proper angle so that the sun rays get onto this magnifying glass and they concentrate onto the copper tube, and then he puts water in that tape and he arranges a small tap outs. So the moment he turns the tap, the water slowly starts flowing. By the time the entire copper tube would have got heated up because of this concentration of the sun rays, and he kept a small bucket, and the hot water, it got collected in the bucket, and he takes baths with the hot water and goes and tells the fellow, today I had bath with the hot water and every day I am going to do this. This is what is innovation. This is what is innovation. So then that boy is proudly demonstrating that project to all of us. So this is what is required, because he wants to transform his own family. He wants to transform himself by using the technology what is taught to him in the classroom. So this is the urge which each one of us needs to have, that I need to change and I need to grasp the technology, I need to innovate so that I can contribute to the society. So then what he did is, he got this small unit, I think the whole thing costed about 500 rupees. Somebody came and sponsored this. So now the entire village, they are using this equipment prepared by this boy, and they are all having hot water bath every day. See, this is what is the requirement. This is what is the requirement, because a lot of youth, they have come here. So my request is that always keep innovating. Always keep thinking something new. And whatever you learn, you see how it can be applied as a technology. That is what is the requirement of us. But majority of the people's opinion is, it is not my work, it is somebody else's. This is how we keep thinking. So transformation is not my job. Somebody has to come and tell me, or if I want, I will transfer, otherwise I will not transform. So this is what is the general tendencies or the thought process of the people. And also, we as citizens refuse to take the responsibility of making India better. That is what is the requirement. As a citizen, how you are going to contribute to the transformation of the country. Many people think that it is only the government which needs to do. They think that it is somebody else who needs to do. So now, in this hall, everybody, let us decide that let us all come together, or as an individual also, from tomorrow onwards, I will be contributing for the betterment of the country. This is what is the decision which we need to take. How I can contribute? How I can contribute for the betterment of the country? So this is what is the question. So the first resolution what we are making now is, I will transform myself, or from tomorrow onwards, whatever I do, I will keep my nation, my country in my mind, and whatever I do, I will see that because of my small deed, the country is going to be better. So today, in one of the WhatsApp group I received, one of our impact trainers was telling, today I planted a sapling because today is a Earth Day. So he is contributing. He is contributing. A small thing. I mean, a small thing, that's what. So somebody else has sent me a message saying that, had the trees have the power of transmitting the Wi-Fi signals, we would have more and more trees planted by the people. So that's what they said. So trees ganaka manaku Wi-Fi signals ichetunte prati okkadu velli mokka naatestam. But they are forgetting that they are giving oxygen to us. So that we are not realizing. So the priorities are changing. Now everybody wants to be in a communication mode. Everybody wants to communicate. But unless if you don't live, how can you communicate? So that is the requirement. So why not we think of a small thing? Say tomorrow let's 150 us decide, if you have a small courtyard or small garden, I will go and plant a sapling. You are making India better. So 150 new saplings are going to be there tomorrow. That means India is going to be better tomorrow because of your 150. So let you inspire some more people and let them also do it. This is what is the collective responsibility of all of us to make the country better. Let us decide, maybe this August 15th, let's all go and attend the flag hoisting. Let us not sit at home, but if you have a school close by, you go and attend the flag hoisting there. If there is a government office, you go and do there. So that means your action is making India better. So these are the small things which you can think about it to make India better. Don't think I need to become Prime Minister if I want to make India better. That is not possible. Only one of you can become the Prime Minister. But every one of you is a citizen of this nation. So let us contribute. It's a collective contribution by all of us which makes the country much better. So that is one this thing. Until and unless we all come together and contribute, it is very difficult to implement. When I was the Joint Commissioner of Police in Thane few days back, I used to be on the streets. I used to enforce certain traffic rules. So a lot of youngsters used to go without helmets. A lot of people used to drive without seat belts. Some people used to be drunk while driving. So all these things we used to encounter, and we used to stop them, and we used to challan them. So we used to, one college student, he has put up what are known as spikes. Now a lot of children, when I see, they are with this new haircut style, it is called spikes.
It's preferably multicolor.
Yeah, multicolor or whatever it is. Then I was asking this boy, why you are not wearing helmet? The boy says, sir, I have spent 2,000 rupees for making these spikes. Suppose if I put this helmet, that will go, and I have to, again 2,000 rupees has been spent on this. See what is the respect we have about the laws which we are making. So I always keep telling people, all these laws or the legislations are made by us. Let us have a feeling that this government is ours. I am the government. Every citizen has to claim that I am the government. I have brought this legislation. When you have such a feeling, you will never violate the law. You will never violate the law. Until and unless we have this feeling of belongingness to the nation, it becomes very difficult to transform ourselves. So the second thing what we need to have today is that I am a proud citizen of this nation and I am the government. All these legislations are made by me and it is my duty to follow this legislation. That if every one of us start thinking, see, tomorrow everybody will come with a helmet. Everybody, the moment they sit on the chair, on the cars, they put the seat belts and they don't honk. All these things will happen. Now, why we are not doing is that we don't have that belongingness. You are feeling that these laws are being made and they are being imposed on you. So that type of feeling if you have, it becomes very, very difficult. So రేపటి నుంచి ఈ డెసిషన్ మనం ఏం తీసుకుందామంటే, నేను ఈ దేశానికి చెందిన పౌరుడిని, ఈ చట్టాలు ఇవన్నీ నేను చేసుకున్నాను కాబట్టి నేను పాటించాలి అని if every one of us decides, then you see India is definitely going to be better. Because what is happening there is I am transforming myself. I am transforming myself. In the process, the country is going to be much better. Another law which we have legislated is the Dowry Prohibition Act. But చూడండి ఎంత మటుకు మనం ఫాలో చేస్తున్నాం Dowry Prohibition Act. How many of us are following? సో అమ్మలు చెప్తుంటారు బాగా చదవరా కట్నం బాగా వస్తుంది. This is the type of thing that are being told to the children. If you do well, if you become a doctor, you get. If you become a civil servant, you get this. This is your rate in the market. This is what it is. But we have a legislation called Dowry Prohibition Act in our country. But we are not following because we feel that we are not part of this. We don't have this concept of belongingness. This legislation we only made. And why we are not following? So the second thing what we need is a thing of belonging to the nation. That is what is the requirement for all of us. Let us feel that from tomorrow onwards, our attitude and aptitude need to change. That is what is known as transformation. What are you today and what are you tomorrow? If there is a change in you, that means we can say that we are moving in the process of transformation. That is one thing we need. So this is what is called the collective responsibility. It is called collective responsibility, and it is the difference between greater good versus one's own good. Greater good versus one's own good. This is what is the measurement what we need to have. Suppose you are stopping at the signal, means you are following the law. Otherwise, you can break the signal and you can reach faster. That may be your individual good. You want to reach faster, if you can break the signal, you can reach faster. But you are not doing it because you feel that a greater good is more important to me than my own good. That is what. But in each and everything, if you make this distinction between what you get, what is good to you, and what is good to the society. Always take the stand that whatever is good to the society, I will take that stand. If it is good to me, but it is not good to the society, I will not practice it. That's all. That is what is the change that is required. That if you start following, then everything will transform. But now, majority of us will think that it is good to me, so I'll do this. So that attitude or the aptitude need to change. So the third resolution what we are taking today is that if it is good for the society, I'll follow that. I'll lose or I'll forego my individual good, and I'll sacrifice my individual good for the collective good or good for the society. This is what is the third resolution which you are going to take. Another thing I keep telling people, because the whole world is looking at India, they have a lot of expectations from us. Because in India, by the year 2020 or 25, the average age of our country is going to be 29 years. 29 years. That means when you compare all the countries in the world, the maximum number of youth are going to be in the India. So this is an opportunity for us. Take it as an opportunity. Because the same situation China had 20 years back. So wherein the average age was also about the same. So in these 20 years, the youth of India have taken a promise and they started doing something so that they have, if you see China, the way they have progressed, maybe now they have some issues, but they are dominating all the markets, world markets, wherever you go. Recently I had been to US. I started searching for some products made by USA. I could not find many. Everything is Chinese, made in China. So that means they have literally dominated and they have occupied all the markets. Who has done it? The youth have done it. So this is an opportunity for us. If you read Puranas, there is a Purana called Padma Purana. అందులో ఒక శ్లోకం చదువుతాను. దుర్లభం భారతవర్షే జన్మ తస్మాన్ మనుష్యతే మానుషే దుర్లభం చాతే స్వస్వధర్మే ప్రవర్తితం. దీని మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే, ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు బి బార్న్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. భారతదేశంలో జన్మించడం చాలా కష్టం. అంటే మన దీన్ని బట్టి 84 లక్షల జీవరాశులు ఉంటాయి. మనతో పాటు 84 లక్షల జీవరాశులు ఏవైతే భారతదేశంలో జన్మించాయో అది చాలా కష్టం అన్నమాట భారతదేశంలో పుట్టడం. తర్వాత రెండవది ఏంటంటే, భారతదేశంలో మనిషిగా పుట్టడం ఇంకా కష్టం అంటాడు. ఇట్ ఈస్ స్టిల్ డిఫికల్ట్ టు బి బార్న్ యాజ్ ఎ హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. సో ఈ రెండు కండిషన్లు మనం అంతా ఫుల్ఫిల్ చేసాం. భారతదేశంలో పుట్టాం and we are now born as a human being. Now the third thing is very, very difficult. What he says is, the most difficult thing as a person who fulfills his duties properly. అటువంటి మనుషులను చూడడం కూడా చాలా కష్టం. సో మనిషిగా పుట్టడం కష్టం, భారతదేశంలో పుట్టడం కష్టం, భారతదేశంలో మనిషిగా పుట్టడం ఇంకా కష్టం. ఆ పుట్టిన మనుషుల్లో తనకు ఇచ్చిన ధర్మాన్ని సక్రమంగా నెరవేర్చే వాళ్ళుగా పుట్టడం ఇంకా కష్టం అంటే. కాబట్టి ఈ రెండు కండిషన్లు మనం ఎప్పుడైతే సాటిస్ఫై చేసామో లెట్ us try to fulfill the third condition also. Whatever is expected from us, that we are going to fulfill. ఆ విధమైన మనం ఇది తీసుకోగలిగితే then I think we'll have a very good transformation. When it comes to working for the country or when we want to show our patriotism, we all stand up for the national anthem, there is no doubt. We all cheer up for our cricket team and Olympic medalists. When that ends, we try to find a reason to hate and mistrust the other. ఈ రెండు మనం పాటిస్తాం. నేషనల్ యాంథమ్ ఎక్కడైనా ప్లే అవుతుంటే we all stand up. When our country wins in a match, we all will be very, very happy. When we get some medal in the Olympics, we will be very, very happy. ఆ తరువాత నుంచి ఏదో సంథింగ్ ఆర్ ది అదర్ we try to find out how to mistrust the other fellow. నమ్మకం ఉండదు మనకి దేని మీద. ప్రతి దాని గురించి మనం క్రిటిసైజ్ చేస్తుంటాం. We keep criticizing everything, attributing something or the other because you are interested in your individual good and you are not interested in the societal good. That is why we are not transforming. That is why there is no much change in the country. So the next resolution what we are trying to do is, beyond standing up for the national anthem and beyond being happy if the cricket team wins, we are going to be very, very happy that we contribute something to the nation and we all feel proud that we are Indians. That is another thing which is required. The moment you start feeling that you are an Indian, all the other things will go beyond your mind. To which religion you belong, to which caste you belong, these are all secondary things. These are all secondary things. The main thing what is required for all of us is that a concept of nation and a concept of citizenship. Nenu Bharatiyan, kabatti I have to do it. All these other things they are not important. Kani manakentante now these have become more important. To which caste you belong, to which religion you belong, they are dominating than your being a citizen of this nation. So now let us decide that if you want to transform, the priority has to be that you should behave like a citizen of this nation. If we can do that, and as a collective group if we can do it, then only you can transform. When you transform, India looks much better. So this is what is the requirement. So this is the fourth resolution you are making, that we will behave like the citizens of this nation. Like the citizens of this nation. About the religion also I keep telling, the moment I come out of my house, I am an Indian. That is what is the concept. Maybe whatever religion I practice, that is up to my four walls. The moment I step out of my house, I am the citizen of this nation. Your behavior should be like that. You behave like the citizen of this nation. Whatever your religion, that ends at your doorstep. That ends at your doorstep. That's what Swami Vivekananda also said. Religion is the manifestation of divinity already in you. Education is the manifestation of perfection already in you. He said these are the two things. Education, that means already there is a perfection in you that education brings out. Religion, what he said is, there is always a divinity already in you. Religion will brings it out. That means you become divine. To whichever religion you belong. Whichever religion you belong, that religion should bring out the divinity in you. When you are walking, people should feel that a God is walking. Why not? It's possible. It is possible. The moment you do your duty sincerely, the moment you do your duties, maybe as a student, maybe as an employer, maybe as a father, maybe as a parent, whatever duty is assigned to you, if you do it, that is the divinity that is brought out because of the religion. This is what is the requirement. So, the resolution what we can take today, the next resolution is, my behavior, I am going to behave like a good citizen of this nation. I keep all the other things like the religion, caste and a creed and other things to the back seat, and I behave like a citizen of this nation. So, difficulty cause it's very, very easy thing. But we are not doing it because we want to give some justification. That is why we are not progressing. The transformation, what we are talking about, and also as the responsibility of a citizen, this is what is our responsibility. Then I was just going through the fundamental duties in the Constitution of India also. What my request to all of you is just go through the fundamental duties. Only the civil people who are preparing for civil services, they go through the fundamental duties because they may get some question out of this. But my humble submission is the other resolution what you can make is, maybe I can request Hyderabad Management Association, prepare a good chart of fundamental duties and give to each and every member, let it be there in each house. Before I step out, I should be able to see these are my fundamental duties which I am supposed to do it. There is another resolution we can make, it is a simple thing. If you see the fundamental duties also, there is not much, they are all very simple things. To abide by the Constitution and respect its ideas and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. To cherish and follow the noble ideas which inspired our national struggle for freedom. To uphold and protect sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. To defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. To promote harmony and spirit of common brotherhood amongst all people of India, transcending religions, linguistic and regional or sectional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women, to value and persevere the rich heritage of our composite culture, to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures, to develop the scientific temper, humanism and spirit of inquiry and reform, to safeguard public property and to abjure violence, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activities so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. Finally, who is a parent or guardian to provide opportunities for education to his child, or as the case may be, what between the age of 16 and 14 years. These are the fundamental duties. Nothing, these are all the simple things what we are supposed to do it. So let us have this chart prepared and let us keep it with us or keep it in your home and let us see whether each of your activity is in line with these fundamental duties that have been enshrined in the Constitution. That is simple. So let us take and make another resolution saying that from today, tomorrow onwards or today onwards, I see that all my actions are in agreement or in fulfillment of the fundamental duties which are enshrined in the Constitution of India. Simple. So these are the simple, so that we can transform and in the process we can do that. Majority of us, I mean, barring few youngsters here, majority of us are parents here. As a parents, let us also have a greater role in this society. As parents, everybody wants a good society. But what is a good society? When a good society can be there? When the children whom I am sending out to become society, if they are good, the society is going to be good. మనకు మంచి సమాజం కావాలంటే మన పిల్లలు బయటికి వెళ్తే వాళ్ళే సమాజం అవుతారు. మన గడప దాటినప్పుడు పిల్లలు సమాజం అవుతారు. కాబట్టి మంచి సమాజం కావాలంటే నా ఇంటి నుంచి మంచి పిల్లలను నేను సమాజానికి ఇస్తానని ప్రతి ఒక్క పేరెంట్ అనుకుంటే చూడండి, అగైన్ దిస్ సొసైటీ విల్ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్. సింపుల్ సింపుల్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఎ డిఫికల్ట్. అందుకనే మొన్న ఒక వైజాగ్లో ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇచ్చాను. Because management association, so I also should talk about some corporates here. So let me talk about Dell company. Dell company మీరు చూస్తుంటారు, it's a which makes PCs and now big frames and main frames and all. This is the company. So initially Dell was making all the desktop computers and all other peripherals, computer peripherals. And one day there is a company called ASUS, ASUS, ఇప్పుడు బోర్డులు కనిపిస్తుంటాయి మీకు మార్కెట్లో వెళ్తే. సో దిస్ కంపెనీ అప్రోచెస్ డెల్ చేసి, యూ కైండ్లీ గివ్ అస్ ఆర్ అవుట్సోర్స్ దిస్ మేకింగ్ ఆఫ్ మదర్ బోర్డ్స్. కంప్యూటర్లో దెర్ ఇస్ అ పార్ట్ కాల్డ్ మదర్ బోర్డ్ విచ్ ఇస్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో వాట్ దిస్ ASUS company says is that you give us or outsource this to us, we will give you the motherboard at 75% of the cost. That means you are going to get 25% profit. So then Dell readily agrees, because generally the model in which a corporate company operates is to maximize the profit. So when somebody comes to your doorstep and says that I am going to give you 25% profit making proposition, why don't you accept it? Dell said, okay, go ahead. Then what Dell did is, it closed all its factories which are making these motherboards. So many people became unemployed and Dell lost the excellence of making motherboards. Then after 2 years, again the company comes and says, now why don't you outsource this making of your entire PC? We'll assemble everything and we'll bring it to you, and again we'll give you 25%. That means again your profit will increase by 25%. Again a very good proposition. Again Dell company agrees. So then these people start making the PC. Then one day again they come and say, whatever is the other requirement, like main is your CPU and other peripherals, that also we make it, again give us a 25% profit. Again they agreed. So a situation has come where Dell company, which is supposed to be a giant in making of these PCs, it has reduced to a state of outsourcing company. And after 2 years, the Asus company has started its own manufacturing. So then Dell suddenly realized that they lost all their expertise in making these computers. Now a stage has come where anybody can bring their PC or laptop to Dell and get their stamping on that. If you want, you can make your PC at your home, take it to Dell, that fellow will put his mark on it. So that is the stage at which a very good company has reduced to a company which just stamps and gets money for stamping. Why I am telling this example is, the same thing let us apply to our home also. Earlier, when we were young, if a festival comes, we all used to come together. My sisters, brothers, we used to prepare all these items for the festival. Somebody is doing some work and somebody else is doing, and we used to prepare and we used to eat. That used to taste very, very nice to us. Now slowly what is happening is, again we have started outsourcing this process also. Now how many of us make these sweets at home? We outsource it to Swagruha. So Swagruha vallu techi manaku ichestaru, we are all very, very happy. In the process, we are missing this bonding in the family members. We are missing this bonding in the family members. So the festival comes, now there is not much festivity. When a festival comes, we go get some Swagruha sweets, we eat, and that is what. So that's why the strongest factor of the country is the family system. India, the basic, the bearing or the foundation of India is on the family system. So recently we celebrated our 50th marriage wedding anniversary of our parents. So I have few friends in the US. So they called me and they said, why you are going? I said, it is the 50th wedding anniversary of my parents. They were surprised. How come two persons live together 50 years? There is a big doubt to all these people. So I said, so that's why we are called Indians, and that is why we are. This is the strongest thing what as a country we have. The family system is the strongest thing. So as parents, it is our responsibility to see this family system sustains or it continues. Let us not become Dell and Asus model. So let us not become a Dell and Asus model. So that should not happen. So if you want to make India better, the family has to be better. So as parents, it is our responsibility to see that our families are better and also the bondings are much better. So that is the requirement. So the transformation as far as the parents or the family is concerned, let us make a resolution that as members or as people who have attended this particular this thing, we will see that our family systems are strengthened. That is what is another resolution we can make. So Again, as entrepreneurs or as industrialists, again from profit motive, you have to go to the social and economic justice model you need to prepare. Now, a concept of CSR has been introduced, the corporate social responsibility. Why this has been introduced? Again, to bring a transformation in the thinking process of the corporates, so that it is not just the profit, and whatever profit you are getting because of the society. So you have the responsibility to pay back to the society. So that's why this corporate social responsibility has been introduced. So my humble submission to all the corporates here is that let us not do it because the government had said I have to do 2%, I am doing. No. Let us make it a resolution. Maybe HMA can make a resolution that we'll go beyond 2%. Why only 2%? We'll go beyond 2%. Let us make the society much better. Because I am taking so much from the society, let me pay back to the society. So again, transformation in the thinking process of the corporates. So unless we bring in the transformation or the change in the thinking process of each and every person in the country, we as a group performing better becomes very, very difficult. I always say the home is the smallest unit of the country. Home is the smallest unit of the country. Kabatti, whatever you want to do it at your home level. Let your home be the best transformation model. So all these transformed models coming together, they become a transformed society. The transformed societies, when they come together, they become the transformed nation. So that's why let us do it at our home front. I transform my family and my home. That's all. If each of us decide that we are going to give the best transformed house or a unit of our country, then the country is going to transform. For that, I need to feel that I am a citizen of this country and I have responsibility towards this nation. And if we feel that, then definitely I think there is going to be a transformation. So the next resolution and the final resolution, what we can always do is that each and every step of mine and my home is going to become a model of transformation. That if every one of us start thinking, then I think there is going to be a transformation in the country, and we need not have to do greater things also. We need to do smaller things. All bigger problems have very, very smaller solutions, simple solutions. I always say it's like a treatment by a family doctor, not by a super specialty doctor. Family doctor never asks you to go for MRI. He always tries to do some physiotherapy or some basic things he teaches so that you feel much better. So let us take all these resolutions, whatever I have mentioned, feel proud that we are born in this nation, and also it is my responsibility to see that whatever duty is assigned to me, and I will do sincerely. Whatever may be, you may be a student, you may be a parent, whatever I said, let us stick up to this, and let us remember about the fundamental duties, and whatever technology we are using it, let us use it for the benefit of the society, and let us make the best family unit. That should be your home. So these are the resolutions, and make this bonding much better. The bonding between the family members has to be much better. Then definitely the strong footholds of the country will become much stronger, and we can build a much transformed nation. So this is what, and the simple solution, I was reading a book, in that I found, these are the simple things what somebody suggested. The first thing he said, excel in your field. That's all. This is the first thing what you can do if you want to transform the nation. Excel in your field. If you are a chartered accountant, you excel in your field. And if you are a trainer, you excel in your field. If you are an engineer, you excel in your field. But at the same time, don't cut your relations with the society. I mean, it is not just making money. No. Whenever you are making money, it needs to follow the process. It needs to follow the procedures. It needs to follow the societal norms and the societal values. That is how you need to excel in the society. Realize it is not just government's job to make India better. That is another thing. You don't think that it is the job of the government alone to improve the country. No. You always feel that it is my job to make my country better. That is one thing you can always say. Because there was an example which I was reading. One person was going with his professor in Japan in a train. Both of them were traveling. And there was some resin cover. There was a small tear in that resin cover in the train. Immediately, that professor who was traveling in the train, he took out his kit and there was a needle and a thread. So immediately he started stitching that small tear which he has found on the resin of the train. The next man asked him, why are you doing it? Because it is the dignity of my nation. So you have come from the other country and you feel that in Japan it's the national property, there is a small this thing found, it is the responsibility as a citizen to mend it. That is what is the concept. So always you feel that it is not just the responsibility of the government to make India better. The third thing what he suggested is back the issue, not the person. If there is any issue, you try to back the issue and not the person. The person may belong to your caste, maybe your creed or your religion, irrespective of that. If the issue is good and if the issue is betterment for the betterment of the society, back that. Just because he belongs to certain caste, certain religion, don't blindly follow him. That is what is the other requirement what he says. Use your social network with the best possible intention. The next thing what he suggested is use your social network with the best possible intention. Maybe you all may be having your WhatsApp or this thing. Maybe you put a status as something which goes as a message to the people. The status what I keep is, whenever you find or you see an ambulance on the road, take your vehicle to the left and give way to the ambulance. This is my status in my WhatsApp. So let us have some status in your WhatsApp so that somebody reading it will always feel, hi, I am there on WhatsApp. उससे क्या कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. There is no change that. Hi, I am using WhatsApp. This is another status what you are. Somebody puts sleeping, somebody puts at work. There are so many things. So why not you put that, give some message like that. So that at least somebody reads it, it will be useful. And also in the social network, try to make people thinking about things. Because there are a lot of things that have been fed into the minds of the people by this television or by whatever you read. But now as a person you try to analyze it and have your own opinion. Leaving aside all these things. As an individual, if this is the issue, what is your stand? Try to generate a type of opinion among your WhatsApp groups. Cut the negativity. For best possible intentions. Use your social network with best possible intention. Otherwise, something which is not useful, you don't forward it. Suppose something not useful and something not useful for the society, don't forward it. Otherwise, the main thing is the moment somebody gets it, immediately forwards it. I mean, what is the use of it? If you get a good message, kindly forward it. It is very good. I mean, so that people who read it will start thinking about it. And then final thing is, he said, cut the negativity. Cut the negativity. Always keep thinking positive. So the positive thinking is very, very required. So these are the simple things which all of us do, and definitely we can transform ourselves, and in the process, as a responsible citizen of the nation, you can transform the nation also. That is what is the requirement of the day. So take a decision, I change, I transform myself. In the process, I transform my family. In the process, these transformed families make transformed societies. Transformed societies together, they make a transformed nation, which is the current day requirement. So this is what is the sum and substance what I wanted to interact with you and tell with you. So it's a simple thing. Follow the rules, follow the procedure, follow the legislations. You become the role model. And definitely there are many things, many people who are going to follow you. And in the process, the nation should become good. Even Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi also, when he was addressing the civil servants yesterday was the Civil Servants Day, in which he said, you perform, you reform, and he said you transform. That is what is the requirement. You perform, you reform and you transform. That is what is the requirement for the civil servants also. Many people are here. One student came that I want to become a civil servant. I want to become a IAS. Don't say it is IAS officer. You say you are IAS public servant. Always we say you want to become public servant.
Yeah, civil servant.
You always say you are a civil servant. That's why it is called civil services. So the people are engaging you as their servant. That is what is the thing you need to do. So this is what is the simple thing. So if you want to become a civil servant, become the civil servant. And you be the best civil servant. That's what should be the thing. If you are a small auto rickshaw driver, I was telling, you become the best. I talk about an auto rickshaw driver in Mumbai. So you go and have a ride in his auto rickshaw. It's a pleasure going in his auto rickshaw. You have Wi-Fi in his, you have tea and coffee in his auto rickshaw. You have newspapers of that day in the auto rickshaw. You have chocolates for the children in the auto. And he goes as per the meter. And what else? He keeps, because I had a ride in his auto rickshaw. There's a pleasure going with him. He's a celebrity, auto rickshaw driver, because he is excelling in his field. The first thing is excel in your field. That fellow, he never cribs that I could not become a civil servant, or I could not become a civil servant like you, or I could not become a minister or the chief minister. He says, I am the best auto rickshaw driver in the country. That is the pride. That is the pride. So people are seeing and they are also changing their way. They are also doing this. So this is what is the requirement. Let us have the dignity. Whatever I do, I am the best. That type of feeling if we have, definitely you are transformed, and in the process, the nation transforms, and in the process, India looks much better. Much better. Like what Rakesh Sharma said when Indira Gandhi asked him, how are you, how India is looking from there, he says, Sare jahan se acha. So that's why our aim is to make India the best in the world. So with this, some ideas we have exchanged here, and I am open for any suggestions or any questions from you. Thank you very much. Yes, yeah, no problem. I can do it. Yes.
Very good evening, sir. Thank you very much for the LMA for brought this wonderful topic on this today. One query that I am being placed before you, sir. The people are traveling on the train. A number of people are here in the middle of the train. One party fellow stand in between the people. I thought that one also been traveling along with the people. But he is moving here and there, back, front side, in the here and there. Towards his left side of the lady sat beside him and took the money from this one. I thought that one is taking the ticket. But later on, all the people, top, bottom, front side, and back side, every four corners, the people are taking the money, giving one another.
What about is you give the best citizens from your home. I never said only give property to your children. I never said that. I said give the best citizens from your home. So give the best education to him. That is your responsibility as a parent. But our this thing is the expectation is that from next 10 generation the money should be there. That is what is thought as looking after the family. So looking after the family is give the best education, and it is up to them to earn. That is what is the Western this thing what you are saying. But here it is our what do you say? You don't want to give any trouble to the children. That's what I was reading a book called Enlightenment by Sadhguru, J.K. Vasudeva. He gives a very good Isha Foundation. There is a good small story I'll tell you. He says he had two bulls, which he has put them into for the cultivation. Whenever these bulls are put for cultivation, initially what they do is they put horns to their legs or whatever it is called. Gurrapu nadalu antam. Gurralu elaga vestaru, ee eddulu kuda alage vestam. కానీ ఈయన ఏమంటారంటే ఆ ప్రాసెస్ చాలా డిఫికల్ట్గా ఉంటుంది. వాట్ దే డూ ఇస్ దే మేక్ ది bull to sleep or and they with the nails and all those things are driven into the feet. So that the basic purpose is to see that they don't get worn out. ఈయనకి ఏమనిపించిందంటే ఇవి చాలా బాధపడతాయి, అందుకని ఇవి వేయకుండా వీళ్ళని వాడదామని ఈ యూజ్ దెమ్ ఫర్ 3 months. After 3 months, the bulls did so much of cultivation, the whole thing got worn out. ఆ బుల్స్ ఏమయ్యాయంటే ఫైనల్ గా దే వర్ అన్ఫిట్ ఫర్ ఎనీథింగ్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ టు టేక్ దెమ్ టు ఏ బుచరీ. దట్ మీన్స్ హ్యాడ్ సద్గురు tolerated the initial pain of driving these nails into those feet of these things would have survived for 10-15 years. Because in the same manner, suppose if you feel that your children are going to be troubled, suppose if you take a harsher decision, then this is what is going to happen. That's what he mentioned in his book. If you read Shivakera, you can win. He also gives a similar this thing. The process of butterfly coming out of pupa is a very troublesome and painful process. మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా చూస్తే ప్యూపాలోంచి సీతాకోకచిలుక బయట వస్తుంటే అది చాలా కష్టపడి బయటకు వస్తుంది అనమాట. కొంతమంది పేరెంట్స్ ముందు ఈ ప్యూపా పెట్టారనమాట. ఈ ప్యూపాలోంచి మన సీతాకోకచిలుక బయటకు వస్తుంటే వన్ ఆఫ్ ది పేరెంట్స్ కుడ్ నాట్ సీ దట్ పెయిన్. And what he did is, he took a small pin and started removing that shell. A pupa kunna shell na teeseyadam modalu, so that the butterfly can come out faster without any problem. Ademaindante that came out, but it just went up to there and it fell down and died. Because the wings were supposed to gain strength in the process of coming out of this pupa. కానీ అది కాకుండా మనం చిన్నగా దానికి ఇప్పుడు హెల్ప్ చేద్దామన్న దీంట్లో మనం if you remove, this will become a very weak butterfly. It will not live longer. It will not survive much. The same thing is with our children also. The same thing with our children also. So, some decisions at certain level needs to be taken by the parents so that they become the best citizens of the nation. That is what is the requirement. So that's why Chanakya, if you refer, he says, up till 5 years, give love to the children. From 6th year up to 17th years, inculcate discipline in them. From 17th year onwards, you behave like friends with the children. This is what is the plan or this thing which he has suggested. So now in the process of this nuclear families, we are giving love and we are like friends only with the children right from beginning. You don't want to give any hardship to them, so that in the process finally they are going to become butterflies, what I have mentioned, or the bull, what Sadhguru has mentioned in his book. So a right decision has to be taken, and see that they are the best children. When they are on the streets or when they are moving in the your housing complex, all parents should show them to their children, saying that a child should be like him or a child should be like her. This is what is to be nurtured in the homes, so that when he comes out, he has the compassion, he has the passion, and he has always a sense of giving back to the society. మన ఇంట్లో ఉన్న డబ్బు తీసి బయటకు వచ్చి ఇచ్చే స్థితిలో వాడిని కనుక మనం తీసుకొచ్చామంటే you have made it and you have transformed. In the process, India is going to look much better. Yeah.
There's a lot of seagulls over the ocean, and they swoop and pick fish. And one seagull thought, why not I go up a little more and then catch a bigger fish? So it went up, fell flat and got injured. All the others mocked at it. But it didn't leave that. The seagull again went up and again, and one day it got out a big fish. Then all the other fish admired him. They also started going up, and then they made very good fish. The point here is, everyone has a potential.
Yes.
One has to reach the potential, and one has to strive for it. Everyone is great, but we don't know how great we are. We should strive to attain that greatness.
Wonderful.
Next. We'll give one.
Yeah, maybe.
కొద్దిగా లిటరేట్ చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళ పరిస్థితి ఏంటంటే, నేను సిచ్యువేషన్ ఫేస్ చేశాను సార్. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఏమన్నా ఇల్నెస్ వచ్చిందంటే మనం హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్తాం సార్. యాజ్ ఏ ఎంప్లాయీగా ఏంటంటే ఓ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ స్కీమ్ ఏదో కడతాం సార్. కానీ మన గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా కానీ స్టేట్ గవర్నమెంట్ కానీ ఏ ఇష్యూ టేకప్ చేస్తున్నా కానీ కామన్ పర్సన్కి రీచ్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్. ఎందుకు రీచ్ అవ్వట్లేదు అంటే, నేను ఒకసారి హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్ళాను సార్. అతనికి 100 ఎకరాల పొలం ఉంది సార్. 100 ఎకరాల పొలంలోని కూడా మేము ఇన్సూరెన్స్, మా ఫాదర్ గవర్నమెంట్ పబ్లిక్ సర్వెంట్ సార్. మా ఫాదర్కి ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ఉంది కాబట్టి మేము ₹1 కూడా కట్టకుండా మేము వైద్యం చేయించుకుంటున్నాం సార్. అదే 100 ఎకరాల పొలం ఉన్న పల్లెటూరు ఆయన ఒక ముసలాయన్ని తీసుకొస్తే ఒక 30 ఎకరాలు అమ్మేసి వాళ్ళు వైద్యం చేయించుకున్నా కానీ ఆయన బతకలేదు సార్. సో అది ఈరోజు నాకు చిన్న సజెషన్ ఏంటంటే, ఏ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ద్వారా మనం వెళ్తే ప్రతి ఒక్కరిని ఎడ్యుకేట్ చేసి ఈరోజు ఇన్ని స్కీమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఈ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ పాలసీస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు 100 ఎకరాలు ఉందంటే మినిమం ఒక మంచి ఫ్యామిలీ నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చి ఎంతో కష్టపడి వచ్చి ఉంటారు సార్. వాళ్ళ దగ్గర డబ్బులు ఉన్నాయి కానీ వాటిని ఎలా సక్రమంగా వినియోగించుకోవాలో తెలియట్లేదు. సో వీటిని జనరల్గా ఏ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ద్వారా ఉపయోగించుకుని జనాన్ని ఎడ్యుకేట్ చేసి మన కంట్రీ యొక్క గ్రోత్లో మనం పాల్పంచుకోగలుగుతాం అనేది నా డౌట్ సార్.
So why don't you take up?
I am confusion how
There is
to
one
approach
person,
strategies.
మన యాప్ తయారు చేస్తారు శ్రీకాంత్. So make use of him. Srikanth, then I think we can introduce him, or నా దగ్గర నంబర్ ఉంది నేను ఇస్తాను. So how to educate people on this. So you come out with a good app application. ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకంటే స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్ ప్రతి ఒక్కరి దగ్గర ఉంది. అందుకని అంటారు చెవులు లేని వాళ్ళని చూడొచ్చు కానీ మొబైల్ లేని వాళ్ళని చూడలేదు. So that's why everyone has mobile. So why don't you do it? Why don't we educate? So why you are asking the government to do it? Why don't you take it as your project? Maybe you can always find good people to sponsor your project. There are always good corporates who can come forward and we can do it. So whatever thought comes to us, let us think whether I can do it. Whether I can do it at my level or with the help of you people. So you take it as a project. Now you got a job now in probationary officer. So in addition to probationary officer, you need to have many things in your CV.
Yes, sir.
So when somebody reads your CV, they should say other qualities of you should overtake your education qualification. So he say he developed an app. Using it, so many people are getting benefited and they are getting so much of help in the medical treatment. So let us take it up. So let us start doing it.
Thank you.
Darkness unto the world. Dishonesty, crookedness, deviousness, deception, deceit, shamelessness, and even criminality have become the norm rather than the exception. And people who are law-abiding citizens in their own countries, when they come to India, they start indulging in fraud and crime. And criminals from this country, when they go abroad, they start behaving in a law-abiding manner. What is it about this country which brings out the worst qualities in people rather than bring out the best qualities in them? This is my question.
Yeah, again you referred to Swami Vivekananda. He also said, give me 100 youth with iron bodies and steel nerves. I'll change the nation overnight. So the requirement is persons with iron bodies and steel nerves. This is the requirement. So what all I said is the process of making the youth and also making ourselves into that category. So what we failed is that we could not produce that type of qualities in the children. So now the topic what we have, you talked about this education. So I always make a distinction between education and literacy. Education and literacy, there is a lot of difference. Suppose a person who is excelling in his examination and he is becoming a civil servant and finally he is becoming corrupt. So he did his post-graduation, he came out in flying colors from his college and finally he indulges in this. So whether he is educated or whether he is illiterate. He is only a literate. He is only a literate person. So another villager, he did not go to any school. He is purely on his agriculture. Whatever he produces from his field, 10% of it he gives it to an orphanage. He is not at all never gone to a school. Whether you call him illiterate or you call him educated. He is educated. So this is the distinction you need to make. So there is a difference between education and literacy. That's why if you see the word, the educated fellow or the literate fellow, he is called Sakshara. So if you write the word Sakshara, Saksharata antama, అంటే లిటరసీని సాక్షరత అంటాం. లిటరేట్ అయిన వాడిని సాక్షర అంటాం. సాక్షరాన్ని మీరు తిరిగి తిప్పి రాయండి. యూ స్టార్ట్ రీడింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ది రివర్స్, ఇట్ బికమ్స్ రాక్షస. సో కేవలం సాక్షరుడైనంత మాత్రాన he will not be of any use to the society. He needs to be educated. What is the requirement is the education. So you are saying as you go higher up, you have no problem. But when you go to the lower levels, it is where the training, which is very, very important. It is where the leaders in the force have to train them. This is the type of qualities which they are supposed to inculcate in them to be part of the society, to be part of the society and helping the society. So the main thing is you need not have to bother, you have to excel more. So you have to excel more so that they learn from you. This is what is the requirement from your side. You need not have to manage, keep doing your good work, because I have seen Aman Vatika how well you are doing, definitely, and you keep, when there is something you need to do more good work. Keep increasing the productivity, keep increasing the productivity. Ultimately the other fellow will change, give change. Yes.